tonight's video is about multiplying using partial products. We're getting closer and closer to doing multiplication the way your parents and I learned how to do it. We've already learned how to use place value. We're adding in partial products and how it relates to the area models we just did last night. An area model from last night helps us to distribute one factor to each place value of the other factor. So here's what we're talking about. The problem was 3 times 145. This is one factor, and this is the other factor. When we draw it into an area model, all we're doing is distributing or giving, multiplying the 3, one factor, to each place value of the other factor. I've broken up 145 by place value in expanded form, just like last night, and now I'm going to multiply 3 times each place value. So last night you were using the distributive property of multiplication. Then we usually take those answers out of the box and we stack them up and we add them. When you're using partial products, it's the same work. You just don't have to draw the picture and you don't have to break it up by expanded form. So here's that same problem. And the HTO, I hope you know, is hundreds, tens, and ones. We're going to distribute that 3 to the 100, that 3 to 40, and that 3 to 5. 3 times 100 is 300, and yes, we do start at the highest place value when using partial products. Then 3 times 4 is 12, but those are 4 tens. So it's 120. Tens have a 0, and so this will have 1 0. And 3 times 5 is 15. And now our partial products that used to be in these boxes, and we had to take them over here and stack them up, are already nice and stacked up for us. And now all we have to do is add them up for 435. All right, let's do another example. We have 4,572 times 2. And I know you guys that love to keep adding, you want to stack up 2 of these and add them up. That's not multiplying. We have to move on to our 4th grade standards and start multiplying. So we're going to start with our greatest place value, which is in the thousands place. And we're going to multiply 2 times 4, which is 8, but because that's thousands, it is 8,000. 2 times 5, which is 10. But because those are hundreds, it's 1000. If I have 10 hundreds, that is the same as 1,000. And then 2 times 7, which is 14, but those are 7 tens, so it's 140. And 2 times 2 is 4. Our partial products are all stacked and ready to go. We can simply add them up. Go ahead and try, see if you get what I get. I know you've written this in your notebook. Pause the video if you need to. It's 9,144. Okay, for this next problem, 234 times 3, we're going to think about that as what is that really saying to us? That 3 times that 2 is really saying to us 3 groups of 2 hundreds equals 6 hundreds, written as 600. Then 3 groups of 3 tens equals 9 tens, which equals 90. And 3 groups of 4 ones equals 12 ones, which equals 12. And when you add them up, you can get 0, 0, and 2 makes 2. 0, 9, and 1 is 10. Carry the 1. And 1 and 6 is 7. 702. All right, now I'm going to show you the same problem done 2 different ways in case your parents are wondering. Why do they start in the hundreds place? Is it important? 5 times 300 is 1,500. 5 times 6 tens, or 60, is 30, but remember those are tens, 30 tens. And 5 times 7 is 35. Partial products are done there. This is the partial product way, starting in the hundreds place. Starting in the highest value. Now we'll show you lowest value. Five times 7 is 35. 5 times 6 is 30, but those are 30 tens. 5 times 3 is 15, but those are hundreds. Same partial products, just backwards. So partial products way looks like the stairs are upside down. This way, still partial products, except the stairs are going up the regular way. When you add them up, it's 1835, 1835. Same answer. Because if you're going to end up with the same partial products, you're going to end up with the final product being the same. Now, next week we will be getting into the regrouping, which is what I call Mom's way. We're not going to talk about that yet. Tell your parents not to help you with that. One last thing before we go. We're going to talk also about estimation. And when we did this problem here, we could have done an estimate. And by estimating, we're going to round to the highest place value. And remember, 5 or more, let it soar. So this one will go up to 5,000. And then we'll multiply by the given other factor, which was 2. And so we'll think, well, 2 times 5,000, and that's pretty close to 5,000. If I round it up, it's 5,000. 2 times 5,000 is 10,000. And of course, the goal of estimating is to make sure that our answer that we do wind up with is reasonable. So once we have that 10,000 estimation, we will compare it to the answer that we get once we actually multiply. And we ask ourselves again, is this reasonable? Is 10,000 close to 9,144? And the answer is yes. Don't forget to do your quiz questions at the end. And remember that when you're entering your answers, if it's a typed answer, that you are only to type the final answer, unless it asks you for your partial products. See you tomorrow.